What highly illegal thing took place at your high school? Two students planned and carried out a coordinated attack on one of the math teachers by waiting by the top of the stairs between periods, and when he passed by them to go down the steps, one of them pushed him from behind, while the other put his leg out to trip him. The teacher fell down the steps and broke his neck and back, and was paralyzed from the neck down. The kid's reasoning, because one of them was dropped from the basketball team because he was failing that teacher's math class. Both of them were 15 years old, so they didn't get jail time. They both got expelled and were sent to juvenile detention. The teacher sued the school district and got a settlement in the lower 7-digit range. Our football coach took off with one of the girls in the high school and moved to Mexico and married her. He had a wife and kids. They then hired a brand new football coach who was 23 years old. Before the end of his first year, he was hooking up with an 18-year-old senior girl. They also took off and went somewhere. We went without a coach for a couple years. The principal was fucking students. A few years after I graduated, some parents found out and took him to court. He hung himself before he could be convicted. We had a softball coach sleep with his students. But a far more interesting story that didn't technically take place on school grounds. There was this kid who was constantly being harassed by bullies. They would even follow him after school and attack him. So there was this hardware store across the street and a lot of kids would hang out in the parking lot after school. The bullies chased the kid inside and cornered him in the garden section. They kept hitting and kicking him, so the dude grabbed an axe from one of the shelves and just started swinging. All the bullies ended up in the hospital with various injuries. Security camera got the whole thing, but I can't remember now if Jim Lee son of Gloin was charged or if it was ruled self-defense. Update: I followed up with my sister, who actually knew the kids involved better than me. She was closer to their age. The news articles that came out at the time didn't really talk about the pattern of abuse that led to the axe kicking, but she did confirm that Jim Lee was sent to juvenile corrections for a while. She remembered when he got out, and as far as she knew, he was doing well. My teacher was molesting my 14-year-old classmate for a while. He went to jail and is still there 20 years later because another past victim came forward. So that's pretty illegal. Over spring break one year, the entire hockey team and the cheerleaders all went to rehab. The girlie was dealing coke to all of them. Had a guy selling heroin. After that there was a weekly police presence. Also, a kid bound a girl to a chair, gagged her and stuffed her in a cupboard in the woodworking shop. He claims it was to help her complete the sponsored silence she had been doing that day. A bunch of the guys had a fight club. It had been going on for years, no face hits, and there was a 18 and 18 group, so if they got caught nobody got assault on a minor charges. It was actually really well planned and had been going on for years. Until one dumbass junior broke the first rule of Fight Club and posted a video. A bunch of kids got suspended. I think a couple of the seniors got probation or deferment. Knew a guy that sold cocaine in class and tried to offer a girl pot to sleep with him. There was also some public underage sex in one of the halls that led to a girl starving herself until she miscarried. Murder. A kid in the grade ahead of me murdered his sister behind the high school. An acquaintance of mine helped him bury the body. I've posted about this before, but some kids in our business club were so enterprising they started counterfeiting money, which resulted in the Secret Service showing up to investigate. Kids were selling candy and snacks to other students, obliterating the monopoly that the vending machines once held. Administration cut that shit out real quick. Oh, here's my time to shine. Someone smeared peanut butter all over the allergy table. Someone spray painted a swastika and wrote homophobic and racist messages all over the walls. A lot of people bring drugs and alcohol. Someone took all the fire extinguishers and set them off in the cafeteria. Someone threatened to bomb the school multiple times. Someone beat up a teacher. Someone assisted a suicide attempt. Someone caught 2 foreign exchange students having sex with each other in the girls' bathroom during the lunch period. This isn't technically illegal, but someone started default dancing during the moment of silence on 9/11. A teacher and an administrator embezzled millions. I didn't even know all this happened until years after graduation. Some of my friends had the teacher in question. Had a pretty controversial case involving a handicapped student who had cerebral palsy and muscular dystrophy. His parents filed a lawsuit accusing 2 of his handlers of abusing him by dumping him out of his chair and forcing him to wear a neck brace so he'd look them in the eye. Worst part was, I don't think the handlers suffered any consequences. I looked up articles on it and all of them highlight the abuse and lawsuit, but none follow through with the results, which is frustrating.